This is the Boston Convention Center filled with boats. Yeah, boats, those gigantic floating things. Now imagine how many video games they could fit in this place, since, as we all know, video games are much smaller than boats. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you, PAX East! You may be wondering, what is PAX East? First off, PAX stands for Penny Arcade Expo, and East stands for It's Way Too Goddamn Cold All the Time. There are a few different places you can find PAX across the country, such as PAX West and PAX South, but I don't know anything about those since I have a crippling fear of flying. Oh, but Careless, you're not afraid of flying, you're afraid of falling. If you've never been to a convention before, let me paint a picture for you. Seas of friendly people walking every which way, indie devs and AAA companies as far as the eye can see, and delicious food that might be a tad bit pricey, but hey, I'm sure that one was just for the meme. I mean, you know, at least someone bought that just to post about it on Twitter. I thought about it at least once. PAX is more than that, though. It's a place where you can find people who you can talk to. It's one of the only places in the entire world where an introvert like myself doesn't have to worry about turning around and talking to whoever might be wandering by. Everyone is just so friendly, and meeting people is my absolute favorite part of any convention, but with PAX, you're basically shoved into the Boston Convention Center with thousands of your closest friends, even if you don't know them yet. Or alternatively, you can also see people you do know and you've been dying to see again. Today I wanted to share some of my experiences with you regarding the events as a whole, and the games I had a chance to play while roaming the floor. Let's jump right in.
Alright, I was told to never film portrait, so here we are. Where's the free breakfast now? Hold on, see the convention, not just me, because why would you want to see me? This thing's huge so far. Animal Crossing was back that way. I'm going to the Behemoth because they promised free breakfast. It's not hard to please me. This is probably the best booth so far, if I had to guess. Classic, don't worry about it. I'm a bad vlogger. You know, I've never actually held or played on a Switch Mini before, so this is actually kind of interesting for me. Also, what better game to play than Castle Crashers? Also, I don't know if I mentioned this is the media hour, so this is pretty cool. Like, it's like almost totally empty in here. There's like a bunch of people, but not like a bunch for PAX. If you've been to PAX, you know what I mean, especially on Saturday. Like, you can't breathe, and even though you could breathe, technically, that was a lie, you don't want to breathe this time around because coronavirus. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's fun too. Dude, I'm smiling so hard right now. They kept the same voice actors and everything, and it looks beautiful. Check it out, Wunderling again. It's a little cow that's Dave's replacement. KFC.
The Behemoth has always been a company I've been keeping my eyes on, and not just because of the free breakfast, but that is a plus. My fascination with it started back with Castle Crashers, a game that my friends and I played endlessly and never got tired of. There was one night where we beat the game 4 times in a row just to see what would happen, since every time you finish the story, you unlock a new character. These days, Castle Crashers can still be played on the newest hardware and PC with Castle Crashers HD, and I even saw a little bit of it on the Switch Lite when I was exploring the Behemoth booth. The Behemoth also revealed a brand new game which is a sequel to their older title, Alien Hominid, presenting Alien Hominid Invasion. The original game wasn't something I played very extensively, but I finished it at least once and spent so much time playing the minigames with my friends. Invasion was so fun to just jump and play around in that I didn't even realize there was an objective at first, so I'm very much looking forward to playing it more down the road. At the THQ Nordic booth, I was able to check out 2 remakes that I never thought I'd see. Destroy All Humans was something that I cherished when I was a kid. I'm about as far from chaotic evil as you can get, but blowing things up, stealing bodies, and zapping my way through Destroy All Humans trilogy was an absolute joy. I honestly thought we'd seen the last of Crypto and POX, but here we are again in the first installment of the series, beautifully recreated from the ground up. The controls are so much better this time around, which is nice because I remember the first game being a bit stiff, but I really didn't have a chance to play it for too long, but from what I was able to play, it got me really pumped for more info on this project. And then the one everyone was losing their minds over, the long-awaited return of Battle for Bikini Bottom. I really didn't play this when I was a kid, so I wasn't sure what the hype was about, but I've heard tons of good things, and thankfully I had 2 Battle for Bikini Bottom experts with me on this trip, so I was able to get some concrete stuff from them.
So we played the Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom demo a while back, I wanted to get my thoughts on. It was like 5 hours ago, but we didn't have time to talk about it.
We got to see a lot of stuff. We got to see like the beginning of the game, so we saw like the start screen, we saw like the intro cutscene and such, and it looks like there's still some work to do with it. Like the animation was not really finished, but it's looked really similar.
It's like what a cartoon game should look like.
Yeah. This being a recent build, it's really impressive how much they've actually done. The hub world is complete. It looked like from majority of what I saw, and I'm pretty sure majority of what you guys saw, everything in the hub world looked complete.
So, I mean, overall, demo was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Closing thoughts?
Yeah, it was really great, and I think my favorite thing from the demo actually was how Jellyfish Caves came out to be.
Oh yeah.
And so it had like a very purplish tinge, and almost reminded me of like Spiral in a way.
I could feel that, a little bit.
Like it looked really pretty.
And the fire,
The
like the
fire,
little geyser thing,
radiant,
that
yeah.
looked really cool. It had like a nice red, like radiating glow.
This game, it looks like a really pretty like cave.
Looking like a snack.
Yeah, and like you want to walk into it.
Guys, I gotta be real with you. I don't know why they thought this demo was a good idea. I mean, it's friggin' Animal Crossing. Were you not sold on it already? Dave and I were lucky enough to get a warp pass to check it out, and my experience was a little lackluster. Not because the game was bad, hell no, I would never make Isabel cry like that, but no, the thing that bugged me was that the entire 20 minutes, you were forced into 4-player local co-op, and there was really no freedom. I wanted to explore the island and maybe talk to some animals, but we were basically taken on a guided tour where someone would get to lead the pack for only a couple minutes a pop. I understand that sharing's caring and all that, but I will never in my entire time with this game use this multiplayer mode. Like, have you ever played New Super Mario Bros.? If you go off screen, you are teleported back onto screen, and if you aren't the leader, you better practice your sheep impression and make sure not to insult any of the locals, because you will not be able to do anything. Now, I just want to make sure you know this is not for, like, the multiple Switch co-op or the online co-op. This is specifically the single Switch co-op. It is just not a very good time, in my opinion. Now, aside from my qualms with how the demo was presented to us, the game is gorgeous. I can't even believe how amazing the museum was. I was absolutely just drooling looking at it, even if it was only a couple seconds to explore this place. Now, I've played all of the Shantae games, but only finished Half Genie Hero because I'm a terrible person. Half Genie Hero was a departure from the original style of the series, seeing as that every game before it was a Metroidvania title. Half Genie Hero opted for a more linear look on the levels that had things you couldn't reach until you returned with more abilities. But Seven Sirens is returning to its roots and providing a massive interconnected world for the players to explore. There's a ton of collectibles as well that can enhance your characters, so look out for those and embark on the journey with the loadout that you like most. I'm usually not interested in Metroidvania since I tend to get overwhelmed by big games, but how can you pass up amazing music, fun boss fights, and incredible animated cutscenes? Pro tip, you can't, it's as simple as that. Way Forward does it again, you can go home everybody, it's great! I have so much to say about this one, and if all goes according to plan, you can check this one out right now since it releases on March 5th. Wunderling by Retroid is a 2D auto-walker game that reminds me somewhat of something I'd see in the App Store, but it radiates this quality like nothing I've ever seen from this genre. It's got witty dialogue, amazing visuals, tons of customization options, and a solid story with some world building that I personally can't get enough of. So you see this fella right here? This is the Wunderling. He's basically your average Goomba or Motobug. But through the power of dark magic or something, he is gifted the ability to jump. With the power typically reserved for heroes like Carrot Man at your disposal, it's your job to track him down and put a stop to him. This also explains why he can only walk left and right without controlling himself, because he's just a mindless baddie that now has the ability to pursue the hero. Which I think is a really nice touch, I just can't get enough of it. It's out now on all the consoles I'm putting on screen, but I know I'm getting it on Switch because, God, I love the Switch so much. Let's do it. When I think of indie games, Shovel Knight is the first game that comes to mind for me specifically. It was one of the first indie games I ever played, and I mean, let's just be honest, not many other characters can boast about reaching assist trophy status in Super Smash Bros. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. But now that Shovel Knight has appeared in 40,000 crossovers, he's back to dig up some dirt in his foes yet again. In Shovel Knight Dig, Shovel Knight traverses randomly generated dungeons with some extreme verticality, and did I mention it's a roguelike game? If you die, it's back to the start, so maybe don't do that. I'm not a huge fan of these kind of games, typically, since I'm what my friends and family would call reckless and impatient, but regardless, I never reached any kind of boss during my time with the demo. But what I did get to play was basically more Shovel Knight, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what else will be revealed about this game in the coming months, but I can see myself sinking a lot of time into this one. This one really came out of nowhere, but I'm really glad I saw it out of the corner of my eye. 3D platformers are my favorite kind of game, and what we have here is a 3D platformer that is just as much fun to control as it is to complete objectives. Meikei's Warrior Spirit is an action game with a ton of platforming and funky acrobatic abilities thrown in. You can wall run, bounce, grab ledges, and in addition to that, attack your enemies with 4 different tools. You're then able to use the clay objects your enemies drop to solve puzzles. I just need to bring up one of the most important things about a game for me is how it controls, and when I talked with the dev, he totally agreed and took the words right out of my mouth when he mentioned Mario 64. If you've been around for a bit, you know that that's my all-time favorite game for the sole fact that I can turn it on, and as soon as the courtyard loads up, I'm already having a blast long jumping and diving all over the place. Warrior Spirit is in pre-alpha state right now, but it's already really promising. You might notice that this is one of the only things I have direct feed footage for aside from Spongebob and PHOGS, and that is because Steam actually has a demo for this game, and it seems like it's the exact same demo I played at PAX. Now the demo was a little hard to get working. I actually had to go to the Steam website, not in the app, and I had to go to the games page, click demo, send it to the app, and then it started downloading, and it took a lot longer than it usually would have. Not sure if that was something on my end, but just let it go for a while and it should download. You should be able to play it just fine, and I really recommend you give this one a shot because it is super fun. Whew, boy, you better buckle up for this one. Knuckle Sandwich is a beast all its own, and I love it to death already. I'd played the Kickstarter demo forever ago, but I was glad to see that it's come really far since then. I jumped directly into the dungeon exploration bit this time, and what I was met with was a gorgeous pixel art game that mashed together the best parts of WarioWare and Mother 3. I know that doesn't make much sense, but just think about WarioWare minigames, except those are your attacks in turn-based combat. Whether you're dodging or attacking, there's something on screen to do, so you'll never just be sitting there waiting to get back to a menu. RPGs that go the extra mile and include little things like Mario & Luigi or Paper Mario are the kind of RPGs that I can't help but love, and this is no exception. I honestly don't play a whole lot of games on PC because I work on the computer all day for the channel, but I really don't care. I'm playing this game as soon as it releases. I'm trailing off because I don't know what else to say. I love it. Just play it. It's a game about dogs, except there's 2 of them. Why haven't you followed them already? Basically what you've got here is Cat Dog, except it's Dog Dog, so it's automatically better. In PHOGS, which is Physics Dogs, for those who were curious, you can play through some fantastical worlds while solving puzzles the way only a 2-headed dog could. You'll drag, spray, and bark your way to the goal in 3 distinct worlds that I may or may not be showing on screen depending on what footage I am sent, but hey, it's a win-win whatever we get. This game is really witty with its puzzles too, and everywhere you look there's something that can make you smile, because it's just so dang creative and adorable. Guys, so I really like Paper Mario, and Nintendo isn't giving us that, so basically I'm looking to whoever else who might provide a good Paper Mario experience, and people are doing that. I've been following a few games on Twitter that seem to be scratching the itch, Bug Fables, Scrap Story, and Loaf the Game, but at PAX I was introduced to the wonderful Rainbow Billy Curse of the Leviathan. This game is Paper Mario Combat meets Pokemon creature collecting with a Cuphead-esque art style, and suddenly I'm crying? It's so perfect! I don't have a concrete grasp on the story just yet, but Billy's quest seems to revolve around restoring the color to the world, which allows him to do different things in the environment, such as bouncing on trampoline-like flowers, or creating platforms to jump on. The colorful shenanigans don't stop there though, because instead of throwing a creature capsule at your foes, you actually need to hit them with a certain medley of attacks in order to restore their color, and only then will they join your monster squad. And I just have to say, these friends are so precious and I can't wait to collect them all! Manavoid, you are doing some amazing work here, and I'm not even kidding about the crying bit. Just thinking about this adventure practically has me emotional. I'm weak, I know, don't at me. But you guys can at me if you want. And finally, we've got Biped, an amazingly fun co-op adventure that's best experienced with a friend. This game has goofy robots, fun puzzles that require the utmost cooperation, and I'd love to show you footage of Dave and I totally not cooperating and punting each other off cliffs, but unfortunately I don't have it. And you can even put these little guys in little funky hats! What more could you want? This is one of those games, sort of like Octodad, where walking is actually a process in itself. You're required to use the 2 control sticks to move. You can also slide around by holding both sticks, but I found strutting around with my funky robo-legs a lot more satisfying. I don't play a lot of multiplayer stuff these days, but this is encouraging me to invite a buddy over so we can just have a great time solving puzzles as a team. Or messing with each other, whatever comes first. You know it'll come first. So in summary, should you go to PAX East? Absolutely. Yes, you should. If not for the games, go for the memories. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, PAX East 2020 will be something I look back on with a smile on my face for the rest of my life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.